it was Liverpool against Wimbledon, and my dad got me and my brother tickets, and we were at the back at the top at the Cop, or it was the Ronnie Moran testimonial. And I can't figure out which one was first. I was trying to Google it last night.
I'm sure I was at that one as well. I couldn't tell you anything about it, but I remember. What years would this have been roughly?
I don't know. I want to say it's got to be 90 something, hasn't it? Yeah. Late 90s. I was so young, but all I remember was where I sat, being right at the top in the Cop, thinking, "Oh my God, this is amazing." And then also what I was going to wear for the match, because I used to remember me thinking that the attire was to stay warm. You put your layers on, then your hoodie, and then you put your Liverpool shirt over the top. And I remember walking down, holding my dad's hand, walking down to the pitch like, yes. Finally got to wear a hoodie underneath the t-shirt where it's actually fashionably acceptable. So that was actually my first memory, and I just loved it.
Yeah.
I still love it now. I still love that walk to Anfield, parking the car up, stop off at a chippy, get my chips and curry or gravy, depending on what mood I'm in. Standing on the side, eating it, and then walking into the ground.
Yeah.
So I still love it. Again, it's difficult because I remember, because I've got an older brother, 6 years older, I used to just get his hand-me-downs, even his boots and everything. But the earliest picture, I've got it on my phone actually, of me being organised. The first one, I think, around my time was this one. So it was the Adidas one.
Oh, like 90.
Yeah.
That's
so we've got the candy ones.
93, 94.
Yeah, but I think they were before we were born. So that's us playing football in the garden. I've got some terrible pictures here. And then that was us, yeah. My auntie lived in Edith Road. I think it's 4 down from Anfield. 4 roads down. And they won the Echo competition to get the FA Cup at her house.
That's amazing. So you got to lift the FA Cup.
Yeah. And if you look in the background, that's my uncle's wife and his son, who are Blue Noses.
You obviously don't deserve to touch the FA Cup.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
I think your first game's always up there. Again, I can't really remember much of it, but the experience of actually going and stepping inside Anfield and seeing the theatre of what it was with the lights on. Then there's that one. But again, one of the best nights at Anfield, the loudest, was not last season when we won the Champions League, the season before, when we beat City in a quarter-final and we were 3-0 up at half-time. Anfield was bouncing for the whole 90 minutes, constant noise, constant atmosphere. And I remember I'd already lost my voice at half-time, just being completely blown away. I just wish I was there for the Barcelona night. To be honest, I can't complain. I was in Barbados, 3:00 in the afternoon, and our bedroom, me and my husband, was where all the sunbeds were, just on the beach. And I swear people must have been like, what are they up to? The amount of noise that was coming from our room, like screaming, but I was bouncing on the bed and stuff like that. So I think my husband probably walked out like everyone was like that, giving him winks the next morning when actually we were watching Liverpool.
Like, why are people high-fiving you at breakfast?
But it must have sounded because I was full on screaming, get in, woo, like bouncing and all sorts.
That's fantastic.
So, yeah. What a game that was, though.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
See, I'm going to sound like a proper... It's the most diva thing I've ever done in my life and probably will ever do again. So I was in a contract where I had to go down to Epsom for the derby. And it was on the Saturday and it was going off at 4:00. So I'm thinking, Epsom, Surrey, 4 hours in the car... 4:00, get away at 4:30, stuck in traffic. I'm still going to be in a car for kick-off. So I've got it made me feel a little bit sick, I'm not going to lie. Because although we got to the Champions League final the season before, there was a different buzz for some reason. This season, there seemed to be a complete buzz in the city. People either going to watch it in Liverpool, Madrid, people going to Madrid even if they didn't have tickets. So I just wanted to be back in Liverpool, minimum. So I knew I couldn't get to Madrid because I was working over that weekend. And I just thought, right, okay, how am I going to get from Epsom in Surrey back to Liverpool about an hour before kick-off? Because let's be honest, we all want to be in and around the build-up. So I thought train, and I thought no, because by the time I get across to Euston, through London, back into Lime Street and across, still won't make it. And then I was like, fly. Right? So I put out on Twitter because you don't know who's down there, do you know what I mean? I was like, has anyone got a spare helicopter? or anyone can give me a lift.
A spare
Yeah,
helicopter.
because I didn't know. I just thought Twitter comes out with some amazing things, good and bad, more often good, and I'm just like, that is so random, so I thought I'll put it out there. So, no, nothing came back. So I was like, right, just going to Google how much it is to get a helicopter from Surrey up to Liverpool, and it was extortionate. But I was like, right, so you have to pay landing fees at Liverpool and at Epsom, and then you have to obviously pay for the helicopter. Made a few phone calls, managed to speak to the Jockey Club, because obviously I'm ambassador for them in the Northwest, managed to get that landing fee waived. And then it came to a point where I paid a solid amount, which actually ended up being my whole weekend, Thursday, Friday, Saturday fee, the majority of my fee on the helicopter. So I got, as soon as the race went off and everyone was cheering home, I think he was actually called Van Dijk, wasn't it, or something, the winner of the Epsom. I was like, it's a sign. I sprinted up to the helipad, got a helicopter, 45 minutes max it took to get from Surrey back into John Lennon. And I remember taking a picture of the Never Give Up, that was mowed into the lawn on Justice for the 96. Took a picture of that, landed, and got into town for 6 o'clock. That is how much it meant for me to get back to Liverpool.
That
I still keep repaying my debt. But it was the most divish thing I've ever done, and probably will do. Literally sat there on my own, eating a packet of crisps and my Candy King.
That's brilliant.
Like, looking out the window, like, what have I become? Like, you're such... I'm not going to swear, but if I was looking on, I'd be like, you're such a... But to be honest, I loved it, and I wouldn't have changed my decision, because just being in town, I had my Virgil van Dijk cutout, which I bought from Birkenhead Market the week before, under my arm. Well, my husband put it in the car. And then went to my brother's bar, which he decked out in Liverpool kit, and then we had it on the projector. And I'm so glad, because town was buzzing after us. And
then presumably just a very sensible evening from there.
Yeah, happened to still be in town for the Anthony Joshua fight, which again was unbelievable, wasn't it, when he got beaten. But I was actually due in London, and I was on a 9 o'clock train, because I was due in London the next day. I had no voice because I was due to film. Not the next day, because it was what day was it? Saturday night.
Yeah.
Monday morning I was due to start a 6 a.m. call in London to start filming, so I went down the next day on the train. Crazy. Good times though.
Yeah, absolutely.
Belter.
Yeah, wow, there you go.
I can see you looking at me already, judging me, like, look at this queen, look at this diva.
I'm gonna go check the car park to see how you got here first. Yeah. Wonder what that loud noise was. Wonder all the windows started rattling just before you turned up, like, yeah.
But yeah, it's a good story, but I'm so glad I did it, because ultimately all my family were there. My mum supports Everton, my sister supports Everton, but they were there to watch it.
Did they scurry off?
Decked in all black, mine, but